All right. We're looking at week 3. And we have Thursday's game. And the line opened up with the Jaguars -3. And I just kind of took some notes, that I usually review for the week. And they're mostly trends. So, I wanted to share these trends with my listening audience. We have the Jags. They're 5-0 in September. Manshaw, he's been fairly good. He actually has a 95% completion rate at home. So, he's definitely something to look forward to in the Jags home game this Thursday. They'll be playing the Dolphins, and I think the over is 6-0 on grass with the Dolphins. So if that helps, then you have the Jags and an over tonight. All right, and the second game, which these are Sunday early games, you have New England at home against Las Vegas, which I think it's the year of the Raider. But it's a long shot. But why do I think that? Because I guess I'm 44. I wore 44 with the Oakland Raiders. That was back in 1976 when I was born, when they won the championship. And they have a new stadium this year. And I believe the Super Bowl will be played in I think Florida this year. Yeah, so it could be the year of the Raider. But New England, you have them favored by 6 points at home against the Raiders. The number one trend that I found, you have the under is 5-0 after allowing 30 points. They allowed 30 points against Seattle this past weekend. And Vegas is first in third quarter points allowed this season thus far. So in the AFC, of course. So I look for that game to go under. I think I would take Vegas with those points, because I think they're averaging at least 34 points a game. The next game, we have the Steelers at home, favored by 4 points against the Texans. And then we have another strong under trend for that game too, for both teams. And then the next game is the New York Giants getting +4 at home. And this game, it seems somewhat depressing, because I did play for both of these teams. And New York is actually first in third quarter points Um, I believe allowed, and San Francisco is first and second quarter points allowed. Scoring, they don't really give up many points. These two defenses. Um, but another trend is that the over is 6-0 in week 3 for the Giants. But the 49ers is actually banged up. I think Richard Sherman is hurt, the running back. Mustard is actually banged up. Kittles is banged up. Garoppolo experienced a high ankle sprain this past week. And Saquon Barkley is out for the Giants. So, I don't know, I think that over trend will probably go away really fast with these guys being out. And you have another under to look forward to in that game, I believe. Alright. Then we have the Eagles at home against the Bengals. And with this trend, the Eagles are giving up 5.5 points opening up line. There's a strong over trend with this game. And the Bengals are 0-5 falling against the spread win. But I don't see the Bengals actually covering. Well, let me take that back. I don't see Philadelphia actually covering 5.5 points against the Bengals because their offensive line has been playing so terrible. Alright, we'll move right along to Minnesota, which I'm totally disappointed in Minnesota. I mean, these guys, they really let me down this past week. I mean, I had a shot at a 7 pick, and these guys blew it, and they were predicted to win by the cheat sheet, so major letdown for them. But they're first and fourth quarter scoring. These guys, usually are behind so far this season, so I can see why they're first and fourth quarter scoring. And they're right now they're 0-5 as an underdog at home, which they'll be an underdog against Tennessee. And Tennessee is first and second quarter points not allowed, and the over is 5-0 against the spread. After against the spread loss, of course, for them. And Tannehill has thrown 6 TD passes, no interceptions. So, the guy is on fire. We have Cleveland next, and they're giving up 7 points against Washington. And the trend on that is that they're completely cold. Cleveland is completely cold. And they're like at a 20% chance to cover this game, this 7 points against Washington. Washington is first and third quarter scoring allowed. So they really turn it on after halftime. And there's a strong overtrend for this game. So I'm looking at Washington over in that game. We have the next game, which is Buffalo at home against the Rams. And Allen is playing fairly well football. He's He's at 6 touchdown passes with 0 interceptions. There's a strong over trend for this game also because the Rams, 7-0-2. After scoring more than 30 points in the previous game. So, that's a good strong trend to look at. And but they're first in fourth quarter points allowed. So, they don't really give up much points at the end of the game. They get better as the game go along. All right, moving straight ahead. Oh yeah, we have Gale Sayers pass. R.I.P. to Gale Sayers. And I thought he was a exciting back to see. When I saw him on film, and he looks exciting. I actually played with him on video games too. I thought he was a really good player. So Chicago actually will be playing Atlanta. They'll be in Atlanta, and they'll be getting 4 points plus 4. So I think they're 4-0 against the spread as an underdog coming into this game. From the previous experiences. And Atlanta is first in first quarter scoring, so they put up a lot of points off top. They take off, and the trend for this game is it's the over. It's 7-0 in week 3. So could be an over with them, but I think the Bears defense is a little better than the Cowboys, and because they have better cover guys. So I'm looking to take the over on that game, I believe, because I believe the Bears can put up points along with Atlanta, because Atlanta will be looking to put up points, definitely. All right, we have the evening games. And with these evening games, we start with the LA Chargers. They're giving up 6.5 points to the Panthers at home. And they have to start out with a rookie quarterback this time, because Tyrod Taylor went down. And I look at the Chargers, I think they have a really solid defense. And they'll be going against Bridgewater. And he's actually thrown 2 interceptions with no TDs. So it looks like an under. And the trend for this game is the under is 5-0 for the Chargers in September. So I think that game should go under. The points, kind of suspect with the points, because the Panthers, they do score, even though Bridgewater hadn't really been productive on the passing end. The next game, we're looking at Indianapolis at home against the Jets. And they're giving up 11 points. I think Philip Rivers was effective last week against Minnesota, 28-11 win. It kind of broke my heart, but at the same time, this guy, he bounced back, and he really has a good completion percentage for both games. So Philip Rivers should be able to handle a injured Jet team because what you have Le'Veon Bell out, and Sam Darnold looks like he don't have the weapons at this point. So I'm looking for Indianapolis to cover that game with that high point spread of 11. The next game you have Arizona, which they're favored by 6 against the Lions, and they're at home. And I think they're first in the NFC in second quarter points allowed, and the under trend is 10-1 as a home favorite for 3 or more points. So the Lions really have a 20% chance of covering this. They're really cold right now. They're 0-6 as a road team thus far. So I look for Arizona to continue with a strong defense and cover that 6 points. They actually covered against the 49ers in San Francisco. So they're playing some good football right now. Then we have the next game, which is Seattle at home against our Cowboys. Now, Russell Wilson actually looks like the MVP this year. He's been spectacular. Their first in red zone offense. They put the ball in the end zone. The first in third quarter scoring in the league thus far. I mean, this team is actually getting the job done. They're 5-point favorites over the Cowboys. So, should they get that 5? Let's see. Dak, he actually was player of the week this past week in the NFC. But I'm not impressed with Dallas's defense. They're actually struggling at cornerback. They have a lot of guys hurt. So, I don't know. Russell Wilson has actually threw 9 TD passes thus far this year. He's leading the league. So, I don't know if Dallas will be able to slow them down enough to cover those points. So, look for the Seahawks in that game. The next game we have is Denver at home against the Buccaneers with Tom Brady. Denver, traditionally always has a defense, but I believe Von Miller is still maybe injured. So, that should kind of open up things for Tom Brady. They're getting 6 points, plus 6. But the Bucs are 0-7 in week 3 against the spread. Tom Brady, with him, he could change that trend because they did have a different quarterback, in those 7 games in week 3. And Tampa Bay actually is first in first quarter scoring allowed. So they really start the game out playing some defense. It looks like an over to me in Denver. Well, actually, it looks like an under, excuse me, to me in Denver. All right. Expect to win.